What is up, YouTube? It is that Lego boy, and it's been months since I've made a proper Lego video, but I thought it was only fair to do a proper Lego video for a 500 subscriber special. For me, 500 subscribers means a lot because I never thought I would make it personally to 500. I kind of gave up on YouTube, if you guys couldn't tell, because it seemed like nothing was working. After Fortnite, I remember I would come home, I'd get so excited to make a video and play Fortnite. I would make a video, get home, I'd get home from school, take a shower, make a video, make a Lego, play Fortnite with my friends for hours till like 2 in the morning. After I would win, I'd be like, oh guys, this is sick, blah blah blah. I'd get so excited after winning. I'd make a figure of the character I just won with. And the formula worked like that for about 2 years. It was working. I got like 200 subscribers in like 3 months, and it doesn't sound like crazy numbers to a lot of people, but to me that was wow. That was like the I made it to me, you know what I mean? And it stopped once I stopped making Fortnite content. And for a while that hurt me, but as I grew up, I realized I had to realize and focus on the algorithm. So I tried to get back into Fortnite again. My bad, I'm trying to get you guys good lighting, but it's kind of hard. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I tried to get back into Fortnite again, and I just couldn't. So I kept going with what I liked, what I kept doing, what I liked doing. Started streaming a little bit. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I have allergies right now. It's allergy season for me. No, I'm joking, but back to what I was talking about. I tried to put in hours, put in work, and the last thing I did was a stream with Valor. And that was going to be the last piece of content I posted, in all honesty. I was super down bad at that point, not just because of YouTube, but life in general. I'm 16 now. I started this channel when I was just 12, and it was way easier back then when I'm reflecting on it now. And it sounds stupid to say because I know I'm just in high school, but looking back at it, I had genuine passion in my voice when I was making those videos. Even though it's a little squeaky, it was from the heart, those videos. And this video right here is from the heart as well, but it's from a more mature, changed point of view, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm making this video to say thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. I know it's a small number for a lot of people, but to me it means a lot. I gained 100 without doing Fortnite content, just solely content that I enjoy doing, pumping out. And I was reading a comment. It was English. It wasn't the best writing, but it was a comment, and it really did bring up my entire mood that day. And I'm gonna read it in the next video I do, because this is gonna be a 2-part video. This video is gonna be more me talking about my favorite figures, what I've been doing over the years. But for now, it's just talking right now. I read a comment, and it said something about I inspired them. They started doing their own stuff because of me. And I've read I started reading a lot of comments like that over the years, and I realized that I do, even though I'm like just some 16-year-old kid who goes to high school still. I do have an impact, and it may not be a huge one, but I have the impact. And I do enjoy reading comments saying that I made someone's day or that someone liked what I did, because at the end of the day, I'm doing it so that you guys can enjoy it. Oh, my bad, I'm trying to change it. By the way, guys, I just got an iPhone, the iPhone 13. This is what I've been saving up for. I got a job now. That's another thing. I got a job now. It's not as much time. Got a job. I'm trying to get in shape because, you know, customizing, painting, Legos, playing video games don't really get you in shape. And I got a little plump after the year, so I started working out again, back into shape. But yeah, I got burnt out, stressed out of life. I closed myself off to a lot of people. I lost relationships. I lost a relationship. solely because of my personality. And looking back at it, that was not my fault, but I let that get to me. And I stopped doing YouTube because of it, because I was like, dude, I'm such a, like, what am I doing? And you guys can't let that happen to you, because I did that, and I stopped doing what I enjoyed, and I lost genuine interest and happiness because of a girl I had just met. You know what I mean? But this is not some cringe story. I'm not here to like sob about something stupid. I'm here to show you guys Legos, because that's what you guys come to the channel for. So anyways, guys, without further ado, I'm going to be showing you guys some of my favorite custom figures throughout the years. Starting off with the one that I always pop up in a custom figure list. It's the oldest one, but it still holds up to this day as one of my favorite custom Lego minifigures. The Rust Lord. Yeah, I know it pops up in every custom video. And let me find a comfortable way of doing this, because, like, I don't have a good setup right now. I'm literally on the floor, laying down like I used to, but I'm not as small as I used to be. There we go. You guys can see the helmet is removable. I know it sounds like a stupid flex, but back then I used to paint everything on. So having a helmet be removable is an achievement. And I only painted the helmet because I was too lazy to paint the actual figure itself. And it is still one of my favorite figures, because that was one of the first real customs that I did. Give me 1 second. Let me turn off the fan because it's getting a little cold. All right, there. But yeah, I'm still super proud of it, because it was one of the first customs that I did when it came to customizing Lego, making Fortnite in general. So this is the Rust Lord. And then a couple years later, I did revisit the Rust Lord in a certain way, creating the X-Lord. Or not the X-Lord. I have the X-Lord, but he's pretty whack. The X-Lord comes from a phase of Fortnite figures where I had stopped caring and just pumped out as much content as possible in the day, which I had a lot of fun when I was doing that, but the figures were not really good, because I would pump out into video after video after video after video after video just for views, because I was trying to get subscribers. But yeah, here I have the Magma Lord, or whatever his name is. I forget his name. I'm sorry, guys. And this one turned out really cool. I really do like how this one turned out. I used electrical tape and stuff for this figure. And the helmet is actually custom made. Same formula as the Rust Lord, except the spikes this time are actually visible. God, I hate you guys. You hear my runny nose. And yeah, I gave him an old head because this is like an older character. This is the young version of him. And then we have the old version of him. Alright, so those are those two figures right there. And let's see who else we got. I'm looking for else for 40. Oh, here. I'm going to do this one next. Next, we have the Hollow Head. This figure is a cool story because my mom, well, not my mom, our family, we're Christian. So we don't celebrate Halloween or anything like that. And I got this figure's head because I'm not allowed to buy anything with a pumpkin, skulls, anything like that off a trade at Legoland. I asked my mom for permission. Obviously, I'm not just going to get that, bring that home. I asked my mom for permission. I did the trade, and I love the way this figure's head turned out. It was so worth it. This thing is so sick for the hollow head. And I know it's a Halloween skin. It's kind of biased, but still. It was Fortnite, and I thought it looked cool. So, here it is. If you guys can see it. But yeah, there's that. And I don't know why the camera looks like that. It's actually starting to frustrate me. I hope you guys don't mind it as much. But yeah, that's the hollow head. And he has a double cape with a handkerchief, or whatever you call it. Handkerchief, or a bandana, whatever you want to call it. He has one of those. The triple cape then, in that case. And he's using the Red Skull body and Catwoman legs, I think are those, or Cat Burglar legs. Really cool figure. This is one of the first times that I used, like, algodón, not algodón, cotton. It's algodón in Spanish, but cotton for a Lego minifigure. Next up, we have one of my first fan-suggested Lego minifigures. And that is the Cycle Bandit skin. Requested, and I still remember your name to this day, the Great Ravenclaw. I will always remember that dude. The dude was one of the OGs. I respect that dude. He was there for me when I needed it. And yeah, he requested not X Lord, the Cycle Bandit, and I made him. Which, by the way, I was gonna start streaming Borderlands, but around that time is when I started working, so I didn't have any time, and I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, here is the Cycle Bandit, and I think I did a really good job on this figure. Gave him a cartoon effect. Yeah, this is one of my favorite figures, and the mask is actually a little bit 3D. So yeah, Cycle Bandit, really good figure. Oh, this is one of my. It's gotten a little bit like run down over the years because it's been in a box with a bunch of other figures. But that is the Mecca team leader. Sadly, this figure has torn down a bunch. Sadly, like the ear fell off, the entire dinosaur arm fell off, some of the drift arm fell off, the Durburger leg fell off. But this figure is one of the most OG custom sculpted figures I ever did. And that head still really looks... I still really like how that head looks. Obviously, it's a little outdated. And I might revisit it, considering there's a new event coming up. Now, and this is a little bit of a story time right now, so I'm going to get a good figure up on screen for a little bit so you guys can see it. Let's do this store. I really do like how the store turned out. So, I recently started playing Fortnite again. Not because I enjoy the game, but because I have little cousins, younger cousins, like 6 and 8, who really enjoy the game. They just got into it, like, last year when Marvel and stuff came out. And, they got me back into the game, not for the reason of the game's fun, but for the reason that we all got into Fortnite in the first place, and that's to hang out with your friends, your family. Now, I may not be playing with the same people I used to play, and I still play Valor and stuff with them, because those are still my guys. Those are the boys, obviously. Not going to abandon those guys. Friends since 5th grade, and we're still there, in high school. But, yeah, Fortnite is a way to bring people together, or at least it used to be, and I'm happy to see that it's doing that now for my family. A lot of my family I was out of touch with them, and Fortnite made it easy so I could talk to them, contact them, play with them. So, I will say that it is there for that reason, and that's the reason I know a lot of stuff about when the event's gonna happen, or not a lot of stuff, because I used to be able to tell you the Fortnite lore like quick. Like if it was my morning routine, I would tell you the Fortnite lore. I was that much of a nerd when it came to Fortnite, but nowadays it's just I'm like happy to know that there's still people enjoying the game, because I hop on from time to time and I enjoy it. But yeah. Anyways, now for the figure on screen. I have this Thor figure, and I made it inspired off the Fortnite Battle Pass one. And it is I'm pretty sure this is the Galactus Herald version of Thor, the Cosmic Thor from the comics. This is the current Thor we have. I'm going to get the Marvel Legend of him. I really do enjoy it. And here's his cape. Of course, the inside is red. Inside is black with a white streak and the power coming through it. Regular face on one side, cosmic face on the other, and then I have a cosmic torso. I really do like how this torso turned out, and then I gave him this crown for the actual hair, if it'll focus. Did I pull my phone back a little? No. Okay, but yeah, that is Thor. And now that we're on the Marvel subject, let me get out some Marvel figures that I really enjoyed, and one of those is the Red Goblin. This figure turned out awesome, and he's paired with my custom Ultimate Spider-Man from the very same comic. I think it's Ultimate, I forget. No, Ultimate Spider-Man dies to the Green Goblin. Trying to remember. I don't remember what comic it is. I think it's Spectacular. I'm not sure. I think it's either Spectacular or Amazing. One of those two. But yeah, we have these two symbiotes right here. One of them being the Venom one. And give me 1 second. Let me grab a figure right quick. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, right here. My bad. I kicked the lighting a little bit. Okay, so. That is way better right there. Okay. So, yeah, this is my custom Black Spider-Man. I have two of these. One of them is from the comic. One of them is more Secret Wars, classic Secret Wars. So the purest one is the classic Secret Wars one. The one in the middle is more of the newer comics. I did paint on the little rectangles on the hands for you people out there who hate and complain about on Marvel Legends. I did do it. And yeah, I just wanted to get that figure to show you guys that you could do it this way, but I like mine a little bit more just because it's custom. And if we get all these tendrils off the Red Goblin, you can see that I actually sculpted on a tail for him. If it'll come off right there. Yep. I did sculpt the tail onto him. And it was around this time when I started making my figures durable and more long time, because the Mecca team leader started turning up, and I got really sad that day. Because although I didn't play the game, it was a really good custom for the time. So yeah, but this is a custom face, custom torso, custom legs. Everything about this figure is custom, even sculpted on a tail for him. And it blends in perfectly to the back. And outward in terms of the back. Painted as the logo, the Venom logo. And yeah, these figures were probably one of my most hyped up figures when it came to comics, because I don't really do comic figures. Well, at least I didn't back then. Now I do a lot of them. Whenever I make a Lego figure, it's just comics. So yeah, that's my Red Goblin by Spider-Man, symbiote Spider-Man, whatever you want to call him. And next up we have my Peely Bone. Now, this is one of my most, let's say, scary projects. When I was younger, I did not know what to do with this Peely Bone. And my logical explanation was, it's a skeleton. It's a Lego skeleton. So I can just add my own flesh to it, because at the end of the day, it's a skeleton. I'm just going to make it like a human would. And I did. And for the time, I think it's actually really good. I used a Lego skeleton base and sculpted a banana on top of it. That simple. And for the time that it was, I think I did a really good job with this figure. Here we are, turning him around. Back then, I also used to use Sharpies to paint, so don't hate, please, on the older videos, because I did use Sharpie before. I still do use a lot of marker to paint. I just don't like paint itself. It gets everywhere, it's messy, I don't know. I know it's better, but hey, I'm lazy when it comes to that aspect. And there we have Peely Bone. So yeah, that was a really good figure. For the time, I was super proud of this, and a lot of people really did like that figure. And this is one of those figures which is kind of broken down with time. His leg is falling off, the yellow one. So yeah, another super hyped up figure for a hyped up event is the Astrojack figure. It'll focus on the head. Let me take this off right quick. And for this figure, I'm specifically happy with how the galaxy effect and the X eyes with the mouth turned out, because that took me a while. And his helmet is nothing special. It's just a white helmet with a little bit of black lines on it. But yeah, this head in specific did take me a while to make. And if we get a look at the actual torso that I made him, if I could take this off, the entire torso I made him is custom. Everything about this figure is custom. Like you can see, I gave him the flesh tone hands, and this entire torso has that tie-dye, I guess you could call it, design going around through it. And we're gonna put this head on. Right there. And that is custom Astrojack. A really cool figure for a really cool event. It was around that time that Fortnite started going downhill, but that event made it hyped up for a little bit. Next figure we have is Ghost Rider. Now, this is such a cool figure in terms of the tones, colors, everything I did for it. The head is awesome. I really like how this figure was for the time. What do I mean for the time? I really like this figure now. I still think it holds up a little bit. Obviously, I could repaint the skull on a little bit, but it is really cool. The eyes are actually in there. There is little flames coming out of it, and the head itself is just awesome. Again, I tried to go for a more comic book look, so that's why there is black lines on the flames. But yeah, that is Ghost Rider, and it is awesome. And we're keeping on the tone with comics. We got the Silver Surfer. Now, this figure is all painted silver. None of these parts were originally silver, except for, I believe, the head. The head, I think, was the only originally silver part. Everything else is probably white. I don't even remember at this time. But yeah, this figure is awesome just in the sense of, it was my first comic. Like, I like doing the whole, how do I explain it? Like the thing Marvel Legends have where they add the shaders on them. The whole shaders thing, I don't know what it's called. I do enjoy it. Especially with Lego. It looks just super cool when done correctly. And I think I did it correctly in this case. And you guys can see the original color of the board was white. And these legs were gray. And yeah, that is my Silver Surfer custom. And yes, the board. You could put them on it, obviously. Make sure a good pose. Can you see that right there? Yep, this one's Silver Surfer. It just looks like he's surfing in water, but just imagine it's space and he's out. Okay, a couple comic book figures, and then we're gonna get into some other games. And next up, we have Homelander from The Boys. One of my favorite shows of recent times. Really do enjoy it. Oh, there you guys have it. I really do like how this figure turned out. The utility belt was really cool using the Batman belt. Same with the gauntlets, or the shoulder gauntlets. I used Ninjago pieces with golden nail polish is when I started using nail polish for the figures. Superman face, because obviously the dual molded legs, dual molded arms. This figure I just went all out on. And if we turn him around, look at that cape. Shoot! I love that cape. That cape turned out amazing. Same with the gauntlets. Everything about this figure is awesome. And the head is, in fact, double-sided. And I had to give him that Homelander red eyes thing. Because, dang, is it scary when he does that. And I did add more red on the eyes because I just love the burning eye effect. I want it to look like it's like fuming out of his eyes. Like he's genuinely angry with what he's about to do. And yeah, I love this figure. I love Homelander. I love The Boys. So last comic book minifigure is Infinity Ultron, which sadly I can't have him like I originally did. Let me take this helmet off right quick so you guys can see the actual head. So there's the Infinity Ultron head, painted custom head, and you can see the whole figure right here. And here you can see the Luchador head. I'm just using Fortnite NFL body. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. And yeah, that is my custom Infinity Ultron. And if we take this torso off, I'm pretty sure there is something under there. Yep. I did actually do the same thing under. Gave him the Infinity Stone chest under that as well. But obviously no one's here to display him without the cape and stuff. So we're going to display him with the cape on. And I'm sorry I'm blocking the camera. I really am, guys. And when you put the whole thing together, this looks just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And if you didn't know, I do have the extra eyes painted on the Iron Man helmet to make it look sick. That's my Infinity Ultron from What If. He does have a sword. It's somewhere in my box, but I gotta find it. Alright, now we're moving on to the territory of big comic book minifigures. Starting off with one of the OGs being the Lizard. If it'll stand up, there he is. And yeah, there is a bunch of accessories. Like I did give him the TASM 2 Lizard where it's just all naked. It sounds weird, but I did make that. I have just a lab coat, regular ripped shirt arms. There's a bunch of different things I made for this figure. And I tried to kind of make him like a bath, like a Marvel Legends bath. But over time, something weird started happening to the paint. It actually started like turning white. It weirded me out. But in this case, it didn't really look bad because the lizard, he's a lizard, and it just looked more like reptile skin. But I did actually make this lab coat custom. And for some odd reason, I gave the lizard nipples. You could take that off. And they're orange for some reason. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, and here is the actual lab coat. Next on minifigure here. You can see it is a pretty big coat. And I did make this using a Roblox minifigure body. I think it's still a really good idea to this moment. Like, they still do look like Legos. You just got to use these right arms, and the blocky body. Like, what are these arms called? I'm just gonna go with what they're called in Roblox. You just gotta use the R2 body arms, like the Roblox 2.0, Roblox 2.0, and then use the blocky legs, head, and then torso, obviously. And you get this monstrosity, the lizard. And if we're moving on to another one of my favorites, this is probably the only valid, like, if you're gonna say you have a favorite big fig of mine, and you're saying, or you're trying to tell someone that the Roblox body doesn't work, just look at this figure. This figure is dope. This is probably my favorite custom big figure that I made. Move this out of the way because that's not doing it justice. And that is my Carnum. This figure, obviously, the name implies it's a combination of Carnage and Venom. And Lego doesn't actually have a figure made for this except for the Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 game. So I took it into my own hands and I made this dope figure. So I'm gonna take the head off just to show you guys a little closer. This is the half Carnage head. You can see it looks sick. Same with the half Venom head. And for the actual torso, I did draw the spider on, and I actually melted some of this Roblox figure over him, and then I put a lot of hot glue to make the popping goopy mess, because this isn't supposed to be a nice clean process. And man, did it just turn out awesome. And he has webs and stuff I've made for him, because again, I try to make my figures like Marvel Legends, but like after a while, I did give him big fig hands. Each shoulder's melted on, one hand of each color, 1 foot of each color. Fiddle. Look at that. Like, this is just, let me plug the head on properly. Oh, let me plug everything in properly because I took it all apart just now. And if you didn't know, the arms are only articulated because I used the legs to make them. And yeah, look at that figure, bro. That monstrosity of a figure. And if we put him next to a Lego minifigure, he is not much bigger, but he is big enough to show you that it is Venom and it is the right scale. So, yeah, and he could actually... Here, let me show you. He could actually do that to a Lego minifigure. And if you have him on a base plate, he can hold him properly. If you can see that right there. His hands are big enough to hold a Lego minifigure. This figure is just one of my favorites of all time. If not my favorite of all time. Just because of how much work and effort and like different techniques I learned over years of making figures. Over years, I mean 4 years, you know what I mean? But still, like, no matter how old I get, I still think this will be one of my favorite Lego figures. Okay, and next up, these are more video games. I have my custom Link, which over time, he did start to sadly suffer from what the other figures did, and that is me not having much quality control back then. So the things that come down the strands of hair did tear off, but still, I think this figure looks amazing. I lost the Master Sword somewhere, because I did make it after I made that video, but here he is, and I still do like this figure just for the fact that I custom molded the torso and the hair, or the hat. It used to have hair, but now it's just a hat. And it has ears for a Lego, which is one of the things Lego doesn't do. I did give it the elf ears, though, because I feel like I needed it, because it is Link. But, yeah, enough talking. That is Link. Next up, we have Cipher from Valor. If you don't play, you probably don't know who this is, but you could just tell this is a badass figure. I love all the techniques I used here. And I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a second. Oh, never mind. I don't have to sneeze. Okay, so we're going to take this figure apart, show you what I mean by how much time I put into this figure. Most of this figure is custom parts, or at least most of the parts that you see that make it look cool. For example, these legs are all custom except for the hip. And then I made him a custom hip skirt piece using electrical tape and paper, like I did for my lab coats and regular coat for, I think it was Travis Scott. But yeah, I did use a lot of electrical tape. for my customs. And if you put that down, then put the torso, which is also all custom. It was plain white before. And then we have my custom sculpted turtleneck piece. And then a custom Cipher Head, which the Cipher Head could admittedly be a little bit better. And then my painted Cipher hat. And then the cherry on top is the Sovereign Sword, which I just think looks so sick with the mist coming off. And it looks so perfect with Cipher. And yeah, that's my custom Cipher with custom pieces and everything. It looks super cool. And then last but certainly not least, my custom Ghost Face. Which this is probably one of my favorite figures just because I made it for a friend. And like, not for a friend, but because of a friend. He loves Ghostface, and I made it for him. Just show him, obviously, because I don't know. It's like one of those things where you fall too much in love with it and you can't give it up. So, that was his Ghostface. It was one of the first times that I had gone back to the plain basic route. I hadn't tried to sculpt anything. Just relied on my skills alone to portray the character. And I think I did a pretty good job. Gave him a phone. And I cut a sword to make a more accurate knife. But, yeah, guys, this video is 31 minutes. I'm sorry about that. I didn't intend for it to be so long. Again, thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. I am really, really happy. This channel got me through a lot of things in terms of high school, middle schools, and just spending my time. Because overall, I've had a good life. I can't complain about my life. I have loving parents, loving brother, family. They're all supportive. And I just have to say thank you, guys. It meant a lot to me, especially when I was feeling really down. Seeing the channel still grow without me there show that I do have a community. It's not a huge community, but it is a community, and I'd rather have people who care about me and are active on the channel than, you know, just a bunch of subscribers and only 2 people acting. So I want to keep growing, guys. Share this video, like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and stay tuned for my second part of this video, which is me reacting to some older videos. So yeah, it'll probably be posted tomorrow because it is a little late now. A little bit after 8 o'clock because I do work tomorrow, so we'll see when that's posted. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and to remember to have a bricktastic day.